Tonight we celebrate love, we celebrate comedy, we celebrate great singing, we celebrate life because it's good, right? How about a hand for life? Motion picture star, Saturday Night Live star with one of the best. My wife still wants, she says, you got to incorporate Toonses into the act. We all fell in love with Victoria on Saturday Night Live, and she's out with her new book, which is a big part of what tonight is about. And I know you've waded through all the friends, and you're ready for a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Victoria Jackson.
Thank you for coming. What a great show, huh? I have talented friends. You're so talented. Thank you. Two blondes walk into a building. I didn't say the punchline yet. Two blondes walk into a building. You'd think one of them would have seen it. What did the blonde say when she opened the box of Cheerios? Oh, look, donut seeds. Why did the blonde only change her baby's diaper once a month? Because it said right on the label, good for up to 20 pounds. I didn't write it, it was on the internet. Hey, Becky. I think I know every single person in here. Oh, wow. So it's great to be in Nashville. I love it here. Yay, Nashville! Because I was trapped in Miami for 25 years against my will. No, I wasn't a sex slave. Actually, I kind of was. Well, actually what happened was, what happened was, first I had to divorce my ex-husband, Satan. Anyone else here ever been married to Satan? Yeah, he gets around. Yeah, he's Satina in the female form. He said he's going to sue me if I keep calling him that in public, so now I just call him the artist formerly known as Satan. And it was a good nickname for him because he was a fire eater. Yes, he ate fire for a living. He made about $100 a year. I saw his income tax return. And, I was young. I thought that was a career. And most of it he spent on supplies, disposable Bic lighters, Sucrets, fire retardant hairspray. When we got divorced, I got half of his stuff. I got a Bic lighter. I keep it as a memento. And so then I called up my high school sweetheart, and he married me, so I had to live where he lives in our hometown. Yay, somebody married me! And so since high school, he'd become a cop. And I thought, oh, cops are so brave. They risk their lives protecting us from bad people. And then I met them all. And I found out they go to Hooters every day to look for bad people. And I was like, Hooters? And he goes, it's a family restaurant. And I was like, yeah, what do you think, I'm stupid? Yeah, it has an owl theme, hoot, hoot. And he goes, no, they have really good wings. And I go, oh, well, I go to this place called Cojones, and they have really good nuggets. Yeah. Yeah, so he quit going there. And so then he would come home from work in his little police costume, and you know what, this is a really bad, I know, this is a bad time. The cops are our heroes. And yeah, Of course, I love them, and this is kind of a bad time to do cop jokes, but sorry, it's my act I memorized, and I have no other. My husband's a cop, and he's the only person I know how to make fun of, so sorry, honey. He's in there babysitting our dog, so yep. Love you, honey. Anyway, so he would come home in his little police costume, and like he takes it so seriously. I'm like, bang, bang, 10-4, had a perimeter. I chased a vehicle with 2 armed subjects, perpetrators, canine, affirmative, safety belt. And I was like, I think they use big words because taxpayers are paying because, maybe he uses big words because he's threatened by my intellect, for real. Because he knows that I skipped 2nd grade. But he says everything you need to know you learn in 2nd grade. And he knows that when I was 12, my dad took me to the University of Miami for an IQ test, and they wouldn't give us the score because they said it would affect our lives forever. Yes, that's true. And so then one time, we were, taking this course at church called How Now Shall We Live by Chuck Colson, and we had to learn about Nietzsche and Darwin and everything, and second law of thermodynamics. I was like, Paul, this is so hard, my brain's gonna explode. He goes, if your brain exploded, it would sound like this. I was like, oh, that's good. How do you spell? And then one time, there's a lot of crime in Miami. That's why Paul likes it there. And one time, this car next to us had these scary-looking guys in it. I said, Paul, that car next to us has hoodlums in it. And he goes, Vicky, they can read your lips. And I go, oh, no, they could shoot my brains out. He goes, take some marksman to hit that BB. Yeah, that's how he flirts with me, though, so... I like it and everything. So that's why I was trapped in Miami, and, there's only 3 types of people there: Cuban, retired, and naked. And I don't fit into any of those categories, so I didn't have any friends. Sometimes you meet someone who's all 3, a Cuban, retired, naked person. And I said, Paul, why do we have to live here? It's hot and humid, there's no seasons, and I'm sweating all the time, and no one speaks English. He goes, I know, Vicky, it's the armpit of America. And I was like, no, it's not the armpit, like maybe Washington and Maine are like shoulders, and it's a skin tag. That's my clean version of, Florida just, it's weird looking. And you know how all of the continents look like they used to be smushed together and then they came apart? Did you ever think about that? Okay, sorry, I don't have a punchline for that. So, anyway, and what happened to language in America? What happened to all the S's and the T's? My daughter says, important. I'm like, it's important. You notice that? Important. I asked the man for the business. What's up? I gotta go to the bathroom. The gays stole him. Bruce, stop. I'm crossing the street. And what happened to all the R's that the Asians and the Boston people lost? 2 order fried rice, park the car in Harvard Yard. The Mexicans and the Cubans stole them. Burrito, Rosa. Thank you. What a good audience. Thank you. I'm trying to get more edgy with my material and attack difficult issues like racism. So that's what we came up with. And yes, I'm trying to get more edgy. I don't have any tattoos or piercings yet, but I do have a cold sore I've been ignoring. And I did try to switch from the ukulele to an electric guitar, but I had a hot flash and electrocuted myself. And You're a good audience. My husband and I, when we were dating in 1992 in Miami, when we got reunited, we were dating on South Beach, and it was very distracting because the topless models don't just lay there quietly. They play frisbee to make sure you notice them. And I was like, and one of them was our waitress, and so I wrote a song about it. All good art comes from pain. I'm in New York in my office. Oh, you see, I wrote this when I was on Saturday Night Live. It was 92, and Paul was in Miami on the SWAT team, and I was in New York. And so the night that he was flying to New York to see my show for the first time happened to be the night he shot and killed the first man of his career. Yeah, maybe he was anxious to see me or something. And so he had to stay up all night filling out paperwork and getting counseling, because I guess that's what happens when you kill someone. And so then he came to 8H and our studio, and I was getting out of an alien spaceship with eyeballs on my nipples because we were doing a sketch about a planet where women's eyes have mutated because men stared at women's chests for so long. Remember that one? And Kirstie Alley was our leader. Yeah. So I go, Paul, this must be so surreal for you to kill somebody and stay up all night and see me getting out of a spaceship. And he goes, yes, it is. Because that's how he talks, you know. And so I took him upstairs and I introduced him to the cast. And I said, hey, everybody, this is my boyfriend, the cop. And Mike Myers goes, got any war stories? And then Paul goes, I killed a man last night. And there was silence. Not one of those genius comedians could think of a comeback. And then I realized our worlds are completely opposite. I thought, oh, well, we do have some things in common. We both get shot at, him by guns, me by cameras. We both could die, him for real, me on stage, equally painful. And we both get rewarded for a big bust. And we both like donuts. Okay. I'm in New York in my office where people wear clothes because it's cold, while you're at a bar in Miami watching bimbos walk by in bikinis. I never look at other men because I have you, but you look at bimbos in bikinis. Do you have to? I'm not neurotic or insecure. I'm a 90s woman. A 2017 woman. Time flies, and all my thoughts are mature. I have no reason not to trust you, and I want you to be free. But you're looking at bimbos in bikinis instead of looking at me. I don't like Miami. There's too much flesh out of control. When someone's boobs are in your face, how can you see their soul? That's the best line I ever wrote. Yes, because women love that line and men just like the word boobs. Lust is rampant and all I see are bikinis and bimbos on MTV and magazines, on the streets, everywhere. You'd have to be blind not to notice them there. Hey, if you were blind, our love could work. I'll just get a knife and gouge your eyes out. Catchy, isn't it? But I don't want you to be blind, because then you couldn't see me. So I guess I'll just have to work out at a gym real hard and buy a bikini. I'll buy a bikini. Maybe in the dark in the closet with the lights out, I'll wear a thong. Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you. I feel all your love. It's really overwhelming me. Thank you. Well, let me see. My husband is retired now, but he can't leave his police personality. Sometimes in bed, he puts his arm around me. He says, "Do you have any idea why I pulled you over?" real. And once I overslept and he drew a chalk outline around me. Yeah. So, a friend of mine, Harriet, she said, this LGBTQ thing has been really good for my marriage because when a pretty girl would walk by my husband, I used to get jealous. But now I just go, dibs. I think that's funny. I was gonna say it was me, but I thought I better make it someone else because I just think it's a great joke. My husband is so macho. He works cattle at his mom's farm. He's SWAT team, helicopter pilot, muscles, works out every day, tucks his shirt in. I thought he has 12-pack abs. It's so intimidating to me. I thought he's either really macho or he's really gay and he's overcompensating. And he likes to clean the house and tuck his shirt in, so I think he's really gay. But I guess I'll just enjoy him till he comes out of the closet. And I said to my dad, why is there so many gay people now? It seems like there didn't used to be so many gay people. And my dad goes, maybe it was getting really crowded in the closet. So I gave him $50 because that's what I give people who give me a joke. So my husband was going to be my pianist tonight, but I fired him because I was doing this song, Ravished, about when we first met. We've been married 25 years, and I was going to, celebrate and sing Ravished, which I wrote in 92. But he didn't do a big, he goes, bloop, bloop. I go, a big ending, and he's a big ending. He goes, bloop, bloop. So I fired him. Bad attitude. And you want to hear this song? Now see, he used to play the piano at church. He was the church pianist, so everything he plays is kind of reverent. I gotta give him that. I was loved like a baby who is wanted and cherished. I was touched like a rose upon a cheek. I was heard like a sermon on spiritually hungry ears. I was looked at as a lady of the week. I was enveloped like a fetus in a womb. I was treated like a pharaoh in an Egyptian tomb. I was lifted up like a sacrifice to God. I was kissed by a man who made me feel like a lifetime. I was kissed by a man who made me feel like a lifetime. I was kissed by a man who ravished. You see why that needs a big ending? So, no piano player tonight. And so then I was thinking I should write a new song for our 25th anniversary. And so, we're at the stage of marriage where, like the sound of his voice makes my skin crawl, kind of, it happens, it's not bad, it's just reality. And sometimes when he's sleeping, I lean over him and I fantasize that he's dead. And I think of all the great things I could do and places I could go. And he said I'm going to be rich when he dies, but I don't know where the paperwork is. I'd hate to lose all that on a technicality. Like, where's the paperwork? I know it's going to happen. So I wrote this song for our anniversary. I hate you. Sometimes I fantasize we never met, we never got together, never got reconnected. And although I tell my friends that this will never work and that I despise you and that you're a jerk, I would never say I hate you. Thank you. So, we go to marriage therapy. that laugh. Hi, Kurt and Judy. So we've been to eight marriage therapists, and they've all committed suicide. Actually, one exploded, so that doesn't count technically. But I'm starting to feel like a serial killer. And actually, they told us we should do more things together and role play. That's why he was going to be my piano player. I told him we should be the captain and Tennille, but he wouldn't wear the cap. And I said, how about Bennifer? But they're getting divorced. And I thought of Jay-Z and Beyonce, but he cheated on her. And then I was thinking the Clintons, they'll never get divorced because they'd have to testify on each other. Our marriage isn't hanging by a thread. It's hanging by a reduced sheen polyester monofilament. I just love that sentence. So yeah, therapy. Then my husband's a Chickasaw. Well, he has one expression, the house is on fire. We won the lottery, which is good for a cop, but like I told him if he wanted to be in show business, he'd have to learn more expressions. So we're working on 5. And he learned small smile, big smile, sad, surprise, and blue steel from the Ben Stiller movie. That one? Yeah, so he's working on it. And, he's a Chickasaw, and he can't help it. It's genetic. His mother was a Chickasaw. They both look like totem poles. And when I first met her, I was trying to be politically correct. So I said, how? Yeah, I don't know why everyone thinks I'm political. It was all a big misunderstanding. I went to the city hall to renew my tags, and I got in the wrong line. And then they said, you need 25,000 signatures. I was like, to drive? And then they said, which party are you in? I said, I don't know what party. They're always fighting. And I go, Tea Party. It sounded like the most fun. And then they go, who do you want for president? And I went, Earl Grey. I thought it was about the tea. And my husband, the cop, is anal retentive, which is a great quality for a cop because they can always find the key to the handcuffs and, important things like that. But it drives me crazy. He has a list in his wallet of things to do that he checks every day. And on the list, it even says, make list. I was like, you really have to. And then he has categories underlined, like personal, car, groceries. And I was like, is personal like going to the bathroom and brushing your teeth? You actually have to check your list. And he didn't answer me. So one time I snuck in his wallet and I wrote a new category. I wrote wife, and I underlined it, and I wrote under it kiss. Yeah. And then he goes, Vicky, you're a nymphomaniac. Oh, no, wait a minute. What did he say? You're a nymphomaniac. And I go, I don't like to do it to dead people. And he goes, I didn't say necrophiliac. And I said, good, because I never stole anything in my life. So one time I got really brave, and I snuck in there and I wrote wife, and I underlined it, and I wrote meaningful eye contact. I'm still waiting for that. So, yeah, he has, everything is organized in the refrigerator. I actually saw him cut an apple the other day and lift it up to measure and see if he had cut it exactly. And I'm telling you. But that's good for a cop, You wouldn't want an airhead cop. So, in Franklin, on Main Street, there's a sign, and it says, Andrew Jackson, who obviously I'm related to, signed the Indian Removal Act, and it kicked all the Indians out. Oh, tomorrow's Indian Day, but you're not allowed to say Indian. What's that big word you're supposed to start? Indigenous. Columbus/Indigenous Day tomorrow. Well, yeah, so everything's new. So so the sign, so since I moved to Franklin, I got cancer. Paul asked for a divorce, and my dad died. So I said, the Indians are getting even with me for the Trail of Tears. Yeah, but Paul didn't actually ask for a divorce. He screamed it at the therapist. He's playing hard to get. He doesn't want me to get bored with him. So, so when I got cancer, I thought, everybody has, how did it change my life? Well, basically, I was sleeping late and watching TV all day and going to bed late and eating vitamins and pills all day anyway, because I'm retired, so nothing changed. And, and then I started getting money in the mailbox for free from Screen Actors Guild. And I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody. They're sending me free money. I found out it's called a pension. And I found out what a pension is. They're paying me to not show up. They're paying me to stay home. Like, don't come to any auditions. We don't want to see you anymore. Yeah, but I'll take it. So, people say, did cancer affect the romance in your marriage? I'm like, no, because even though I was bald and it looked like my chest went through a wood chipper, my husband's a leg man. He's a leg man. And, I can't do my shimmy dance so good anymore, but I just turn the lights down and I take a Sharpie and draw circles on my shoulder blades, and he doesn't know the difference. Yeah. Ouch. It's hard to write cancer jokes. It really is. It's quite a stretch. And so this song I wrote because I was thinking, in my small group, we had all these prayer requests, and I'm not the only one who has trouble in their life. We all have a cross to bear, so it inspired this song. It's a broken world, baby! Tattoo of a broken ukulele, light blue, turquoise lies. He might leave me in the middle of my chemo. I would not be so surprised. Yeah, I got cancer and so did my dog. My car won't start and my sink has a clog. My checks are bouncing but my trampoline's torn. I am not surprised because I've been warned. It's a broken world, baby. I know you agree. The second law of thermodynamics says the world is in a state of entropy. That's a fancy word for broken, you see. Thank you. Lanny's back is causing him pain. Bob's OCD is driving Donna insane. Dilbert's dad, he needs a diagnosis. I quit kissing Daisy because she has some halitosis. Daisy is my dog. My heart is broken and I stubbed my big toe. I just got fired and my food is GMO. I accidentally stepped onto my ukulele, rushing to say hi to my new neighbor, the Israeli. Well, you try to rhyme with ukulele. It's a broken world, baby. Since Eve and Adam gave in, but there's a new world coming. That's why my song has a grin. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. I'm gonna meet him in the sky, in the twinkling of an eye. Thank you. Thank you. So my husband and I are driving along, and the sun was setting. And his side of the car is completely neat and organized, smells like a new car. My side of the car has sunflower seeds, sugar daddy. I licked half of it and laid it on the paper because it's half the calories that way. Gardenia floating in the water dispenser, a Diet Coke, my magazine, my laptop, my act I'm working on. And we're driving along, and I go, Paul, can we adopt a baby? And he goes, Vicky,
Look at you and your careless, haphazard lifestyle. You can't even take care of yourself. Put your safety belt on.
I go, I bring wonderful mayhem into your orderly rut of a life. And he goes, Vicky, the only realistic outcome to our marriage is that one of us, whichever slips into dementia first, will be victimized by the other from years of pent-up rage and retaliation. I was like, whoo, that's good. Say that again. He goes, you're the kind of person who'll end up pushing a grocery cart with your laptop and your act in it under the overpass. And the other bums will say, there goes the neighborhood. Hey. So I wrote this song. See, this was the song I wrote when, are you guys ready to go home? No, Judy? She wants me to do the wigs, right? Okay, if you're bored or tired, or if you have to work on Indigenous People Day tomorrow, then you're allowed to go. I will not feel bad. But if you can like sleep in on Indigenous People / Columbus Day, then you can stay. Okay. So my friend was in the hospital with cancer, the guy who discovered me for The Tonight Show in 1983. And this was like 10 years before I got diagnosed. And so I wrote this song kind of thinking about him. A Nice Ukulele by Victoria Jackson. I used to do that. I realized one day that I stole Ditziness from Goldie Hawn, a poem by Henry Gibson, and the ukulele from Tiny Tim. I totally stole the, what's it called? Laughing. Isn't that called Laughing? Yeah, we didn't have a TV, but I saw it at my grandmother's. And so TV is powerful, right? Okay. You can't buy talent in a guitar store. You can't buy talent in a guitar store. But you can buy lots of guitar strings, lots of curvy wooden things. You can't buy talent in a guitar store, but you could buy a nice ukulele. I got my kids a hamster the other day. They loved him to death, you could say. I told them hold him gentle, but they made him do ballet. That's true. You can't buy a hamster that knows ballet, but you could buy a nice ukulele. You know, we're not that good with pets. There's a picture of our family in our local pet store with a line through it. It says, do not sell a pet to these people. Yeah, we have a daily delivery and retrieval service. And I said, Paul, how about this hamster being called Fluffy number 12? He goes, I'm getting tired of the name Fluffy. I'm like, Tinky Winky. He's like, remember the diving board incident? Okay. I'm exaggerating about the animal. You can't buy a hamster in those ballet, but you can buy a nice ukulele. My husband said just the other day, look at the sunset. Okay, so we were looking at the sunset. And I go, Paul, it goes so slow all day, but right when it's the horizon, it goes so fast. If you blink, you'll miss it. How does that happen? I must be near the end of my life because time used to go so slow. And now I wake up, I make 3 phone calls, I watch Fox News for 5 minutes, and it's the next day. How does that happen? So that's what inspired this. Oh, yeah. My husband said the other day, look at the sun. See, when I was a child, I used to walk to school past the mean dog. Took forever. Watch Carl try to sound out Dick and Jane, the word the. He. Watch Mrs. Cassiota's arm fat jiggle when she wrote on the chalkboard. I go whoosh, whoosh, and watch Carl eat his crayons, and then I had to go home and falling off the skateboard, getting excruciating pain in your coccyx that lasted an eternity, and then you couldn't leave the table till you ate your last 5 peas. So the last pea took forever. And now, this is 3 phone calls. This is the next day. My husband said just the other day, look at the sunset going down that way. It seems to go slow the whole day long, but it goes much faster when it's near the horizon. Why does it do that? Well, you try to rhyme those two words. What does it mean? I just play my nice ukulele. I called my friend up the other day, invited him to dinner in the usual way. He said he couldn't come because he was in the hospital. I said, what do you have? He said, I'm terminal. We both paused and I started to pray. I didn't want to play my nice ukulele. Now the Bible has a word or two about me and about you. It seems to say o'er and o'er again, the horizon is not the end of our lifespan. So I'll speed up my song, the horizon's near, and tell my kids are hamsters in heaven with my friend I hold so dear. And I'll grin and play till the end of the day on my nice ukulele. You can't buy eternal life in a guitar store, but you could buy a Bible in a Bible store, or get one for free in a hotel room drawer, or borrow one from me and read John 3:16 or an or. But don't talk about Jesus, because people get sore. Just play your nice ukulele. Part of having cancer is being bald. Christine was my nurse. Give a hand to Christine, my chemo nurse. Woohoo! She was my chemo nurse, and she was in a hazmat outfit so that no poison would touch her clothes, but she was jamming it into my veins, and it worked. I love her so much. Anyway, so being bald was the worst part of cancer. I could not find any wigs or hats or scarves that fit me. Like the scarf thing, I looked like a psychic fortune teller. People kept coming up to me asking me to read their palms. And I learned if you get a bigger tip if you say they have a long life. And, like the beanies and the, like country club lady. This was $300, but it didn't fit me. I kept going, Reginald, do you want to play tennis? And then like every time I would put on a brunette one, I was like this one. So anyways, like you came home from work and the kids are still alive. Hey, I did my job. That's my Roseanne, but it's very rusty. I haven't been on SNL for 27 years, so I'm a little rusty on that, But this one always made me do
Harriet. I'm Harriet. I'm a blue-blooded liberal from my head to my toes. I love Obama. Why? Cute baby pictures, herb garden, free condoms. You're never too young or too old. I'm a good person. I hate. That's why I hate Republicans. I volunteered down at the kindergarten to pass out condoms last week. I got a new washer dryer, and I took the cardboard boxes and I took them down to the homeless guy at the end of the corner. I created a neighborhood. I'm a community organizer.
Thank you. Okay, so this wig makes me feel like Fran Drescher. Yeah. I think she straightens her hair now. I don't know. So anyway, Jay Leno, I was having this, sorry, I gotta get nasal. I was having this fancy dinner party, and I lit my sweater on fire. When we were doing the Weird Al Yankovic movie, she was in it, and we were in Tulsa, and she came into my hotel room one night, and she goes, Victoria, there's nothing to do here. Do you want to go to a Weight Watchers meeting? Like, I don't know if she went or not, but she's thin and I'm not, so maybe she went. So like when I wear this one, I like, is my hair coming out? Sorry about that. Oh, well. This is Dolly Parton in first grade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of... Okay. Okay, is it pretty? Is it on the right place? Is it crooked?
So pretty.
No. What? You can't tell what?
It's so pretty.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this one makes me feel like a Victoria's Secrets model. Actually, is this one Victoria's Secrets more? Yeah? Okay. More. Okay. Okay, you're making me work now. Yeah, can you picture me walking down the street with this? Yeah, okay. So, I have 3 secrets I'd like to share with you, but don't tell anyone. It'll just be our little secret. My first secret is a lot of men ask me, are you as dumb as you appear on the show? And I say, I don't know. I never watched the show. My second secret is a lot of men ask me, how do you like it? And I say, like what? And they say, you know, you're sex. And I say, you mean my sex like being a woman or like having it? And they say, the second one. And I say, I forgot which one was the second one. And they say, Victoria, stop doing that stupid character. And I say, I'm not doing a character. And they get mad and walk away. My third secret is a lot of men ask me, do you want to come to my Miami pad? And I say, you mean Miami or your Miami? And they say, what? And I say, they say, what are you like? And I say, you mean like a fruit or like a vegetable? And they say, what? And they say, are you for real? And I say, which part of my body are you talking about? And they say, are you trying to tell me you have breast implants? And I say, why are you asking me all these questions? Is this a test? And they say, what do you do? And I say, well, I swim naked in my pool, and then I throw the squeaky toy for my poodle, and then I get tired, so I watch the Weather Channel to go to sleep. And then I wake up and realize I forgot to brush, so I put on rock music to inspire flossing. And then I go back to bed and I start thinking of all the names I'll name my children, with Ryan Reynolds when he leaves his stupid wife Blake Lively. And I think deeply, Opal, Gertrude, Ethel, Edith, Eunice. And then I snap into consciousness and realize how awful that would be. And then I start thinking, Vicky, Cindy, Debbie, Bob, Mike. And I think, oh, that's so boring. And then I start thinking, what's the popular names of 2017? And I think, Ahmed, Mohammed. Then I scream and I wake up. And then my poodle starts barking. What do you do? I don't have an ending for that, so if you have an ending, I'll give you $50. Okay, so, okay, this is Paris Hilton. Okay, so this is like anime. I don't even know Japanese anime. I don't know how to act like that. And so this is my lavender hair. Okay. So basically, Judy was out on my birthday, and when my hair was growing back, first I was bald, and then when it was growing back, it came in silver and gray, and I was embarrassed, and I said, when I was bald, my husband said I looked like an androgynous drill sergeant. Or a liberal lesbian, you know. But I started growing in, gray, then I looked like a liberal lesbian a lot. And then Judy said, "It's not gray, it looks lavender, it looks lavender." And so then I saw my husband out of the corner of my eye go, "Yeah, Vicky, it looks lavender." And I thought of all the times he was trying to make me feel pretty when I was bald and puffy and sick, and so I wrote a love song to him. A piece of hair sticking out. Thanks, Jenny. He sees me as zoftig, not heavy. He hears me as wise and not dull. He thinks that I'm super terrific when others think nothing at all. He sees me as funny, not silly, and graceful as Fred Astaire. And he doesn't notice the gray. He said I have lavender hair. He cleans up my mess in the kitchen. He irons his clothes and mine too. He's shy, but he'll go on the dance floor. That's what I want him to do. His kisses are soft and yet manly. He mentions me in his prayer, and he doesn't notice the gray. He said I have lavender hair. All alone in the moonlight, stars watch from above. One says, they're starting to look alike. The other says, could this be love? Sometimes he yells about money and makes me feel small. But he is the only honey I want to cuddle by the fire in the fall. I never said he was perfect. His romantic gestures are rare. But he doesn't notice the gray. He said I